Hello everyone, and welcome to my presentation on the future of tidal energy in the United States. My name is Colton Swetlick, and I'm a senior at the University of Wisconsin-Madison pursuing a degree in civil engineering. Did you know that tidal energy is actually one of the oldest forms of renewable energy to be utilized by humans? The Romans used it all the way back in about 787 AD to drive mills. Despite this, tidal power has largely been forgotten and really hasn't caught on to the extent of its counterparts like solar and wind. First, a brief overview. The key to really understanding why tidal turbines are important for the future of energy production in the United States really lies within the circumstances surrounding it. I will briefly discuss some general issues and useful information to highlight what really matters. From this, I have formulated several feasible solutions in order to implement tidal energy on a commercial scale on the Western Seaboard. In conclusion, I'll give my personal recommendation as to which serves its purpose most efficiently. Fossil fuels make up a huge amount, or about 81% of the United States energy consumption every year. According to the Energy Information Administration, or the EIA, Americans use 20.54 million barrels of oil every day. So what is that? That's just a number. To put it into perspective, the ship, the Seawise Giant, is the world's largest oil supertanker. At 1,500 feet, it's longer than the Empire State Building is tall, and its anchor alone weighs 36 tons. The daily use of oil by Americans is enough to fill this supertanker up nearly 5 times. At this rate, oil deposits could vanish within the next 50 years. So what will fill the void left by this titan of an industry? In 2019, renewable energy made up just 11% of the total U.S. energy consumption according to the EIA. By the year 2023, this number is expected to grow by about 1/5. Now this is an encouraging sign, but it may not be fast enough. As seen on the graphic, tidal energy is a negligible percentage of the U.S. renewable energy consumption, not even being represented on the image. The widely accepted estimate of global available tidal stream energy is around 120 gigawatts. Now just 1 gigawatt has the potential to power 300,000 homes. This makes it clear that the negligence of tidal energy may have very detrimental impacts down the road. Not everybody has been ignoring tidal power. I truly believe that the best way to showcase it as a clean and profitable industry is to give a real-world success story. Simic Atlantis is an independent and sustainable power generator headquartered in Scotland. They have a long and storied history in tidal system design and now have rights to about 600 megawatts of tidal sites in the United Kingdom alone. In May 2019, Atlantis partnered with the giant General Electric in order to provide and work together to develop utility-scale tidal turbines. According to Atlantis, they've even recently developed a 2 megawatt tidal turbine, which would be able to power about 700 homes. With the limited amount of oil reserves left in the world, now is truly the time to act. We have a virtually untapped resource at our feet, and the sky's the limit. With the backing of giant companies like GE, tidal power can truly become a very lucrative industry. As represented by the dark blue marks in the graphic, California is the ideal location to begin the implementation of tidal power in the United States. The southern coast of California has high tidal activity, as well as a large local population. The city of Los Angeles alone has a population of nearly 4 million people. Although site conditions for tidal power are very specific, the correct location could yield great results. One of the main concerns with any energy source is its effect on the environment. Tidal power is truly a green energy. It emits no gases or physical pollutants of any kind. The main concern with this type of technology is acoustic pollution and harm to marine wildlife. There is much work that is being done in this field. According to the British Ecological Society, although the acoustic signatures of tidal turbines had a localized effect on seals in the vicinity, it wasn't a major determinant of the seal numbers in the area overall. In addition, networked sonar pods depicted in the figure are also used to detect large marine life, stopping the turbines temporarily in the process until they leave the area. On a more personal note, growing up, I had an intense love for the outdoors. You could always find me out fishing or running around in the woods. I grew up in 4-H, a youth leadership organization. When I wasn't showing chickens at the fair, I was truly taught some valuable life lessons. one thing that they always tried to instill in us was being stewards of the environment. It truly does sadden me to see all of the environmental devastation that has been caused through fossil fuel pollution. But for every low of a valley, there is always the high of a mountain. Renewable resources are taking off, not only in the US, but around the globe. In my high school days, I was assigned to give a presentation on tidal energy. At the time, you can imagine I wasn't very happy about it. However, after researching for some time, it stuck. It was crazy to me to think how vast the oceans were. I couldn't believe that with all this potential energy locked beneath the waves, it wasn't being utilized. At the same time, it truly is exciting to see the leaps forward being made in this field every single day, and I really am very excited for what is to come. Taking all these factors into account, I've created two solutions. The first involves integrating tidal turbines into the base structures of offshore wind farms. There's a widely known acronym called KISS, or Keep It Simple Stupid. This is exactly the aim of the hybrid system design. By avoiding unnecessary complexity, we can achieve many benefits. These benefits are simple and straightforward. There will be increased energy density with both the harvesting of wind and tidal energy. This in turn means that the costs will be reduced due to the shared structures and energy transmission lines. Maintenance costs must also be shared then, rather than servicing two separate locations. This means that costs will also be reduced further. As appealing as this design is, there are also some major drawbacks. If not originally designed to accommodate these tidal turbines, the structures could fatigue. The additional load and vibration forces on the wind turbine structures are increased, possibly leading to potential equipment failure down the road. You are also forced to install at the location of the wind farm, which might not be ideal for a peak tidal activity. While the short-term costs might be low, you have to look to the future where potential catastrophe down the line could have a substantial negative financial impact. The other feasible solution to tidal energy implementation on the west coast of the United States is a standalone tidal turbine farm. A tidal turbine farm is something that has never been attempted before. With the combined resources of General Electric and the knowledge and technology of Atlantis, I believe a tidal farm off the coast of Los Angeles is a realistic possibility. This choice would be beneficial for two main reasons. You can choose the specific location that is most preferable and design the technology to suit the characteristics of that location. Once established, this system would last for a very long time into the future. The project would be designed from the ground up, considering every single little detail, rather than being added on to an offshore wind farm as an afterthought. While this would essentially be the perfect scenario, the cost would be monumental. As in anything that hasn't been attempted before, there are bound to be mistakes and hiccups along the way. The entire infrastructure and transmission grid would have to be constructed from scratch. In addition, modifying the local ecosystem would have a much larger impact on the surrounding environment than the more concentrated hybrid system. One other thing that you must take into account is the property value of the homes on the shoreline. While these tidal turbines do not have any direct physical impact on the properties themselves, due to the preferences of consumers, it may have an indirect impact on the property values of those homes. The CEO of General Electric's power conversion business, Aziz Mohammed, is quoted as saying, "The potential of tidal energy is simply too big to be ignored." These encouraging words lead me to believe that the standalone tidal farm is the best option. With a resource-rich company like GE backing a company like Atlantis, who has the knowledge and appropriate technology, there is simply unlimited potential. As oil reserves continue to dwindle, we must act in a more severe degree now, rather than regretting it down the road. Tidal power can't solve all energy problems. The peak supply of power will never match the peak demand of energy, but is easily predictable and very reliable. In combination with other renewable energies such as solar, wind, and geothermal, the world can wean itself off of fossil fuels. Tidal power can truly become an integral cog in the wheel of worldwide renewable energies. This solution would also represent unity between two companies from two separate countries, working towards a common cause. This concludes my presentation, and I would like to open up the floor to any questions.